Hello. Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to MangaPod. I'm Erin, or Happily Erin.
I'm Dodger.
And I'm Lou.
And I'm
Malika. And we are MangaPod, a weekly podcast which we get together after we've read all or part of a manga and we discuss its friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. This week we are talking Chainsaw Man, chapters 26 through 52.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And before we go any further, it is a very special person's birthday.
Yeah.
Birthday pod. Lou. Happy birthday, Lou.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday!
Thank you.
Would you like us to sing off key? Or would you
Absolutely, please.
Great.
Say it as though it's a spoken poem?
Let's do it. Yes.
No, I want off key. It'll be great. I'm excited.
I'm going to go far back because I don't want as many people to be offended by my voice.
Let's
Okay.
do this.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Woo! Happy birthday to you. Woo! Happy birthday, dear Lou. Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
A round of
promised
applause.
Off key. This was not off key.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday.
We're good. I take back what I said. We're good.
You guys
Yes.
may notice that our fourth co-host, Malika, is not with us today. We don't know where she is. We tried.
Potentially asleep.
Today has been the podcast day, as Lou said earlier, the day that just keeps on giving.
Yes.
And it's been a wonderful time getting this going. But we are very happy to be here talking about Chainsaw Man with you guys. If you guys have never joined us for a MangaPod before, what we like to do is give you a short spoiler-free description of the manga that we read, aka a summary, and then we will give you our spoiler-free recommendations, whether we think you should spend time going to read this manga or not. That way, if it sounds like something you are interested in, you can take your leave, come back and watch the VOD of this on youtube.com/happilyerin, or listen to us on audio streaming sites like Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, all of that stuff. There is some warnings for the manga this week. We have violence, body horror, gore, and nudity. So it's a handful of stuff just to be warned about. This week, Lou is going to go ahead and read our description for us. And we ask that nobody in chat post any spoilers for anything until we get to spoiler sections.
Yes.
So.
All right. Denji has a simple dream: to live a happy and peaceful life, spending time with a girl he likes. This is a far cry from reality, however, as Denji is forced by the Yakuza into killing devils in order to pay off his crushing debts. Using his pet devil Puchita as a weapon, he is ready to do anything for a bit of cash. Unfortunately, he has outlived his usefulness and is murdered by a devil in contract with the Yakuza. However, in an unexpected turn of events, Puchita merges with Denji's dead body and grants him the powers of a chainsaw devil. Now able to transform parts of his body into chainsaws, a revived Denji uses his new ability to quickly and brutally dispatch his enemies, catching the eye of the official devil hunters who arrive at the scene. He's offered work at the Public Safety Bureau as one of them. Now with the means to face even the toughest enemies, Denji will stop at nothing to achieve his simple teenage dreams.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you. It's very succinct. That is exactly what the manga is.
Yeah, I was just gonna read the first paragraph, but then I realized that had nothing to do with the batch of reading that we just did. Figured I would expand it.
That's fair.
That's true. Cool. Spoiler-free recommendations. Who would like to go first?
I can go. I thought that this batch of reading was more engaging than the first batch of reading. I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah, this manga's wild. We talked about it last time as well. It's wacky. But there's something like, despite the fact that it's extremely violent, there's something really endearing about it. And I thought that this batch of reading like started to ramp with the first batch started, which is exactly what it was meant to do. But like it was very satisfying to read. So yeah, I would still recommend it.
Mm-hmm. I'm the same. As I was reading this section, I was like trying to remember what happened in the previous one, even though it hasn't been that long since we read it. And so I was just kind of thinking, like, did I feel that the first section was a lot more forgettable? But this one is very, like Dodger said, it ramps up. It's so fast with a ton of awesome action scenes and action moments and character development and villains. And so I think even if I felt a little bit more lukewarm to the first 25 chapters, I highly recommend to keep reading, because this batch just keeps going and made me not want to stop reading, which is why we also bumped up, in case you guys didn't notice, we changed it from 48 to 52.
Yeah.
So we are up to 50.
It was not a good stopping place.
No, 48 was real bad. It was real bad.
So, I really enjoy Chainsaw Man. Specifically, this reading, like, way more than the first batch of reading. It was a lot more absurd, which, I mean, it was already very absurd to begin with. So they just really, like, dialed things up. There's a lot I want to say.
Yeah.
But I'll just leave it at, this is good. Go read it. Have fun with it. And if you can't stomach body horror,
don't.
That might be the only like caveat for not reading this, because it's really fucking good.
There's a lot of body horror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So there you go. I'll recommend it if it sounds like something you're interested in. Now is the time for you to take your leave, go and read it, and come back. And honestly, you could probably read it, and we might still be talking about it by the time you get back. Maybe. That's a little.
It is very
over.
quick.
But yeah, it's a very fast pace. So let's jump to spoiler section once again. Once we get to spoiler section, you can spoil everything up to chapter 50. To nothing past that, please. We're very serious about spoilers. I don't think I have said this recently, but we call people who spoil rotten bacon butts. That term still exists, and you will be one if you decide to spoil. So please just don't do it.
It's true. You don't know just how disappointed you'll be in yourself if Erin looks you dead in the eyes and calls you a rotten bacon butt. It hurts. Okay. Spoiler section in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Denji is God?
Maybe.
I mean,
Gun Devil is kind of God.
Gun Devil.
Yeah, that's what I was
like
also
legitimately.
thinking. So, we were reminded of the fact that the Gun Devil killed like millions of people, which I'd completely forgotten about. So, yeah, I think he might be the God.
Yeah, we got to meet lots of different types of devils this time. Mm-hmm. So many devils. Okay, sorry. I was jumping ahead a little bit.
No, you're good. So we, if you guys never joined us, we usually start with the question, what were you expecting before going into this manga? Sometimes when we have already read a batch of readings, this question is a little bit harder to answer. But, Dodger, you can kind of lead into what you were about to say with that. Yeah.
Well, like, if I recall correctly, the first section is a lot of, like, us finding out things about how Denji's powers work, sort of. and following him and his like transition phase into like having a job, even though it's a really wild job, right? And I think where we ended was the first time that we just saw a bunch of characters die, and it was like, oh, I guess everybody's expendable in this manga. I guess a bunch of people can just die. I thought that this next batch of reading was probably going to be more of that, but we actually had like quite a bit that wasn't about Denji at all. And I was totally fine with it. That this section felt a bit more ensemble-y. That there was a bit more focus on like other characters and what they're doing and trying to understand a few other people's motivations. And I really liked that. As much as I enjoy Denji and I like the point that he's at now, like our first reading, right? We were like, oh my God, this guy just wants to touch a boob so bad. And he finally did. And he was like, wait, does the boob have to be attached to a person I like? Fuck. Right? Like that whole thing. And like, I like that we're now getting to the point with Denji where he's like, a bunch of people died. Oh, fuck. I don't care that a bunch of people died. Shit. Right? Like that whole thing was actually really interesting for me. So as much as I still enjoy Denji and like what he's doing and the like growth, so to speak, that he's going through, I like that we're visiting and spending good time with everybody else as well.
Lou?
Yeah. I agree that I appreciate that a lot of time was spent to fleshing out the cast, and also like this section like really made it very clear that none of the characters have plot armor. So and I think that raises the stakes for everyone in the manga except for Denji, who has died several times throughout what we've read.
Yeah. They've established he's immortal, so we can kind of just like not worry about him too much.
Yeah. But the fact that they're taking the time to like really build up these characters. Now, the one concern that I have when stuff like this happens is I don't want to get too invested in a character for them to be killed off immediately.
Yeah.
So
right.
That's what I'm a little worried about, but like that's not really a knock on the series if it does happen.
The only other one,
because that's what it's trying to do.
Sorry, the only other one that I feel pretty safe about is Makima, because he's got the whole like he's got a ticking timer, and if he just died, that would be no payoff at all for that whole thing. So I'm like, he's not gonna die, but I did not expect him to touch the angel. I was like, dude, really? You only have five years to work with.
You mean
Aki?
Sure, maybe.
Sure.
I don't know anybody's names. That guy.
Aki's the one that made the pact with the future devil.
Yes, that guy.
No, I definitely sensed that he was going to touch the angel. Like once they got paired off and their like views on the world were so different, where the one angel boy is all I want to die, and Aki is I only have so much time left before I die, so I'm going to do all of this stuff that I need to do before that happens. So, but yeah, I was like, 2 months? How much time do you have, Aki?
He said 5 years, right?
5 years. Yeah, oh, that's right. Or did it get knocked down to, what was
it? Got knocked down to 2.
Because he got the eye guy, eye demon.
But the eye guy just wants to watch him die.
But didn't he get time knocked off for that, or was it he just gave his eye?
I only remember him being like, I've seen your future and I know you're going to die gruesomely and I want to be there when it happens. And so he was like, sure, I'm going to hop in your eyeball. And that, as far as I remember, that's all that he said.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's dying soon.
Great.
That's the important thing.
A handful of years.
Right. Yeah. In a child's fist full of years, he will probably die.
He will be deceased. So yeah, going in. for me, with this section, I didn't expect the story to veer away from Denji just yet either, because he's the protagonist. And so after just 25 episodes, you don't expect them to take a break from the protagonist just yet. Mm-hmm. So having this go and spend time with other characters and then coming back to Denji slowly having some realizations about himself that really humanizes him, which I know might not be the right word, but really, I thought that was a very effective way of doing that.
I think
telling more about him.
I think they had to kind of do that because Denji, for the most part, is a pretty one-note character, and yeah, he's experienced some character development in this section of reading, but not a whole lot, and I don't know how much they can really develop him like throughout the entire course of the story. So like, yeah, maybe at some point he starts caring about people outside of the girls that he thinks or that he's into, you know, like maybe that's his track for development. And so the fact that we did get time to see other characters, I think is a way of not basically blowing their load on everything that Denji is going to go through in over the course of the story, you know, which I kind of appreciate because it kind of gives his development room to breathe. Mm-hmm. And it works.
The second that a girl was interested in him, we all knew she was probably going to be evil, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That's so sad.
There was a brief moment when the guy who was with Typhoon, Devil, when he found her in the hallway, something about the way that scene was done made me think like, oh shit, maybe she doesn't have like devil contracts and powers.
The same thing
maybe
happened to me.
Maybe she is. And then she, of course, just straight up fucks the guy over. And
I think it's because she ran, right? Like, she looked surprised and then she ran. And I was like, if she's a devil, why would she run, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's probably what it was.
But
yeah, since you brought up Typhoon, I really, really did not like his design. That was some unnerving shit.
Oh my god, I didn't expect him to be a typhoon of organs. I didn't like that at all.
Same.
I was sad though that they took the time to introduce Spider Devil with the zipper face, and then she never showed up again.
She never showed up.
I was like, whose partner is she? We'll never know. Oh my god. But okay, look, shout out to Shark Boy, the greatest hype man ever to live.
Yes.
And also shout out to the bird, the guy with the bird mask, because he fucking cracked me up.
He shows up and he's like, I got this. And immediately in the next page,
I don't got this. Yeah, they were both very funny.
Shark Boy is a needed humor.
Yeah, Beam. Yeah, is that his name? Beam.
Oh yeah,
he's pretty great. So as for the guy that wears a mask, I like that. Yeah, he was used for comedic purposes in this section, but there's always the potential for him to, like, you know, take off his mask and stop getting that continuous dose of poison, which is weakening him. And then he could always turn into a badass character later.
Yeah, for sure. What was that?
I have no idea. The kids are playing right out there, but It sounded like it came from up there, so I'm very confused. But David's with him. It's fine.
I'm sure it's fine.
The other day, not to bird walk, but the other day, David was watching them while I was doing my makeup, and all of a sudden I just hear like, ah! And Kaylee screaming, and then Elliot started screaming, and there was a lot of yelling, just back and forth and whining, and I just hear David go, okay. like, okay. We're not doing this. Turns out they were fighting over the Elsa balloon, and so David put it up on the counter. So I walked in, and Elsa was just like up, standing like almost touching the ceiling.
Amazing.
Anyway, sorry. Need to share that antidote.
No, it's good.
Antidote.
Anecdote.
Anecdote. The antidote.
It was a very healing.
Very healing antidote. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But
So
no,
I was gonna say Chainsaw Man rode a fucking shark.
He did.
That shit was cool. I like the whole build up. The whole build up of like maybe you can use your chains and like you put them on your feet and you wrap them, you know, and you can use them to climb buildings. And they're like kind of like trying to feed him this answer.
Or
like, no.
yeah, use them like Spider-Man, right? And like yeah.
But no, he rode a fucking shark, and
I did like that because it was very obvious that the bomb devil, that she was like, you know, your weakness is that you don't understand what you can do. You know, your weakness right now is you don't, like, there are so many other ways you can be utilizing what you have, and you're like a baby devil, like you don't understand how to use it. And I love that then they were like, right, but you could use the chains for mobility, right? He's like, right, ride the shark. Got it. I know exactly what you guys are talking about. Like, they will never abandon the completely true premise that Denji is an idiot. And I love that. Like, I just love, he's so simple. There will never be a moment where he's like, I'm brilliant now. I came upon this brilliant sort of idea. Like, it's just never gonna happen. I love that.
Yes, I agree. Like, even if he has other character development going on, like, he's gonna still be able to maintain that, like, just naive, stupid little part of his brain.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him charming.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, can we talk about how there was, 2 chapters where they were being trained by that devil hunter, and then that was just over?
Like, and then they're like, Power needs some blood. We'll see you in a bit. Bye. Yeah. And then Denji's like, I have nothing else to do, and runs into Riza.
I guess I'll get a girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they did. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go.
I was going to say, I'm glad that they didn't drag out that training, because basically the big takeaway from that training was, okay, just start thinking about what you're doing when you attack and understand your weaknesses. Mm-hmm. And that's all they really needed.
But it didn't feel like there was any payoff at all with that section, with him being like, I'm going to keep killing you until you figure out a way to keep me from killing you. That never happened. He was still killing them.
Well, I think the payoff is showing how much of a badass he is, and because he had just been introduced, and they have to establish his character to show him as like the strongest person in that unit. Yeah,
I guess I'm just saying, I hope that that's not it. I hope that the last thing that we saw is not all that we're getting from that idea, I guess.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fair.
They're building him up to be an interesting character in that he first goes, I love you guys, to Denji and Power. And then later on, when he's talking to the top lady.
Yeah, top lady.
Top lady. When he's talking to her, he's like, I hate them. And so it's like, what are your feelings? Where did you come from? What has been your experiences? But yeah, it definitely just felt like, all right, here he is. We'll BRB with him.
Yeah. I assumed that the I love you guys was, oh, good. You guys are just as disgusting, despicable devils as I hoped you were, so I'm not going to feel bad killing you.
Oh, yeah.
Because every question they were like, humans, I don't give a shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, yeah, in this reading, we saw her use some of her devil powers, which were really fucked up.
Dude, crazy.
Mm-hmm. Had like a bunch of death row inmates carted out, and if they said the name of somebody she wanted to kill, she just killed both of them. But I guess the inmate just like died, and the person that they said the name of was crushed to death.
Smoosh. Oh man, they smoosh.
It was insane.
Yeah. And that, like, built up a lot of terror just because you don't know who was going to be next. Like, which one of them was going to get splat. Did you think, so kind of with that, the girl who instigated that whole, like, attack on the division, what did you think about her death?
I'm trying to remember it.
Like, it felt so out of nowhere to me. Like, there's this crazy buildup. Personally, maybe I'm just remembering it wrong.
Well, I think they said that she was suicided by the Gun Devil before she could really do anything.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I don't think I even noticed inside of the reading that she had died. It
was like a one-off panel.
Okay, yeah, because I was
going
to say, I don't even remember this happening.
Yeah, because they did the whole zombie thing where she was like, all these zombies are down there, and so we're going to toss all these people in there to make more zombies.
Right.
And then and then they show all the devils, like, attacking the zombies, and then she dead. And so it just really threw me off. That it was like, this was the
chick that can do the snake stuff?
Snake Girl.
Yeah, Snake Girl.
Yeah, I didn't even realize she died. That was very, yeah.
It was like they just did a one-off of her, like, dead body.
Her devil killed her, and there was a line of dialogues where they speculate that must have been a condition of the term of their contract.
Yeah.
Because that was all, like, brokered supposedly by the Gun Devil. Which we know that she had contact with the Gun Devil because that's where she got all the weapons for the Yakuza.
Right.
Yeah.
That she had, like, she took a bunch of the younger people in the Yakuza and they all made a deal together, or she brokered a deal for all of them.
I think it's that she brokered the deal for them.
Right.
Yeah.
And
so it was like
if something about it went wrong, then part of the deal was she would die?
Yes.
Is that
yeah.
Okay.
So, like, basically to keep the Gun Devil from being apprehended.
Right.
And then the payoff for that section was that they had retrieved like 1.5 kilos of the Gun Devil's flesh, which when there's enough of the flesh put together, they can use that to track the Gun Devil. Because the problem is they don't know where he is right now.
I see. Okay. Got it.
Which, since we're talking about the Gun Devil, like, as an overarching plot, I kind of am not really interested in that part of the story.
Yeah.
Same.
Because, like, there's, like, no real investment for me apart from, like, Aki's story, where, like, he's obsessed with being the one that kills the Gun Devil and getting his revenge. But, you know, he's a side character. Like, I need Denji to be interested in this. I need to see more, like the way that the Gun Devil killed millions of people. I need to see something like that in the story instead of being told through a flashback.
Well, it's depending on the story, it can be very powerful to not ever see the bad guy, quote unquote. But sometimes it's beneficial to see them and get kind of their vibe and be like, oh shit, this guy, I want to see this guy some more, right? And we haven't gotten any of that. So yeah, I have no attachment to finding out what's going on with the Gun Devil whatsoever.
I'm more scared of Makima than I am of the Gun Devil.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not super interested in that until they give us a little bit more of the Gun Devil popping up to do stuff. What did you guys think about Aki for this section of reading? Because we got a nice little, like, we found out his goals exactly, like his external conflict, what's going to happen, where he's going and stuff. As a human character, he definitely seems to have, like you guys talking about the plot armor, he definitely seems to have a little bit more of it. because he can see like briefly into the future. But even then, we get to see him because he starts out as that stoic, cares about nothing, is never scared on the outside. So to see him
He's
when
the
he's
Sasuke.
going against the Sasuke. To see him when he's going against stronger opponents and he's genuinely terrified, like when he was going against Riza. To see him be like, I am going to die if I am not super duper.
There we go.
There we go. Super duper careful. Oh, the nut kicking contest.
I was gonna bring that up. I actually loved
forgot
that
about that.
because that was such a
so
moment of him
funny.
being like, okay, this is what we're supposed to do. We need to take this guy in. But yeah, let's do a nut kicking contest. Like that was just so. And then I loved that. Like we sort of like faded to black on that, right, and just sort of left it. But I liked that later on when Denji was talking to the Bomb Devil girl, he was like, man, I've had like so much good stuff going on. Like this guy who super sucks. Like he and I had a good moment. And you just know he's talking about the nut kicking contest. Like, I just think that's so funny that he like brought that up. Like, you know, this guy and I, we just like don't get along, but we had like a really good like moment together where we kicked the shit out of this guy's nuts together, you know? And like, I don't know if I want to give that up. Like, it just cracks me up. Yeah.
So I really liked the Katana Devil since he came up. But I think it's a shame that we're not going to see that. We're probably not going to see that design again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the downside to some of it. Like the way a lot of these conflicts have to be resolved is with like, you know, these villains being dispatched permanently. And like really the way the mangaka is drawing everyone looks so badass that it's kind of a shame.
Wait. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No,
mine was going to take us off topic to a different topic. So you go.
So is mine.
Well, you go first. I'm
No,
the host.
You go first.
I'm the host.
Okay, fine.
Executive host power.
Okay, fine.
I've never used it, but I'll use it for this.
Okay, how did when Aki was about to attack Snake Girl, and then the weird like bush devil showed up, and then he used the devil in his eye, or didn't use the devil in his eye, but was handed a cigarette that said free revenge, and he just like killed the devil. What was that all about?
I don't know. I was very confused by that.
That devil is blind and only sees fear, and since he didn't show fear, it didn't attack him. And apparently that devil also killed his friend, and that's why he got that cigarette, which is what was like preceded by the whole flashback of him being offered a cigarette, and then later being told, "Oh, you can get it when you're old enough and you need something to take the edge off." So it's kind of like his friend was incorporated into the devil, and that's why he got the cigarette.
I was gonna be like, wait, that still doesn't explain why a cigarette said free revenge on it. Okay.
Yeah, okay. That makes more sense. You're right. That part was definitely a little bit confusing.
But that wasn't the devil that killed her, though. Because the nut kicking contest was about the devil that killed her, right?
Katana. Was it the Katana devil? No.
See, that was in the previous batch of reading, and that's what I don't remember.
Shit!
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta start over from the beginning. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know shit anymore. Somebody said that that she might have had a contract with that devil, and that's why.
Oh,
I don't know.
maybe.
I'm not sure. I would need to reread it.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was saying earlier, that first chunk of reading, I was like, I don't remember what happened. I don't feel like I was emotionally affected by anything that occurred in that first section at all.
Honestly, I just mostly remember they like did like a big, not a heist, but just a ton of people from the department went into a building together and a bunch of them just fucking died. And I was like,
yeah.
Oh, they can all die in this manga. And then I remember that he went to fight a devil. He fought a devil for like hours and hours and hours, right? And just kept dying and rezzing and dying and rezzing and dying and rezzing for hours until he finally killed it. Question mark? I need to reread it.
Yeah. What I was going to say earlier is that I love the fact that characters can have more than one devil. Because it just opens up this world of there are endless possibilities for devils. And it's just so many designs and names and powers. And so I feel like the mangaka was like, I am going to go ham on this because I have so many ideas and I don't feel like being restricted. So it makes, by making the rule of the world be that not everyone can only have one devil, that there's multiple, it gives a lot of opportunity for just so much creativity.
Yeah, it did make me wonder with Aki, because his fox devil thing that he used to summon, they were like, oh, you used it too recklessly and it probably won't ever listen to you again, or it'll probably never come when you call again. And I was like, interesting. So there's obviously a really wide variety of contracts as well. Like, obviously, the contract he had with that one's able to just be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas some of them are more binding on both sides. So
they're not like Pokemon. They don't just become this loyal subject. Like, they still have their own personality and will and drive. So it gives the devils character too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
I got something in my eye.
Oh no!
That's the worst.
Meh.
Okay, how did you guys feel about Bomb Devil and that whole sequence?
Yes.
She killed a lot of fucking people.
She did.
So you mean after like she showed who she really was?
All of it.
Yeah. That whole sequence was so badass. But I like the little love triangle that preceded it maybe a little bit more, and observing Denji's internal conflicts of his heart going one way but his body going another. It's very, very pure. But as for like the whole sequence of her just fucking murdering everyone, I really liked that, and I'm looking forward to seeing that animated.
Oh my god, the part where she was like, I wasn't lying though, I really do like you, Denji, and he's like, really? And then everybody's like, no, you idiot, just fucking kill her. So good. Like, Denji's just so simple. I just love it so much.
So easy.
Oh my god.
I really loved how effective Denji finding out she was Bomb Girl, that scene was. Like, I reread it 2 or 3 times because we all know that there's something going on with her. And we also know that Denji is incredibly simple-minded. And so to see the slow realization on his face was like actually terrifying. Like, I felt the same terror that Denji was feeling as that happened, and the same kind of heartbreak where he's slowly realizing like, oh shit, this girl that definitely seemed like she liked me and that I liked is biting off my tongue and cutting off stuff, and her head just exploded. Like, I don't know. I thought that scene was very, very well done.
I thought so too. Yeah. Yes, why does everyone want Chainsaw's heart? Why doesn't anyone want my heart? That was a great line. That was a fantastic line.
It really was. What did you guys think about her transformation into her devil form?
Her head's just like an old school rocket grenade. It was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. And that she pulls the pin that's on her neck.
Yes. Yeah. I was trying to figure out, because they were like, the mold devil thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she can like blow herself up, but she can't get rid of the mold. And then she like took off her head, and they were like, yeah, put the mold in her head, and he said he couldn't because he could only do it in something that's alive.
Yeah. So
I thought that was such a strange statement.
I think he was saying that he thought she killed herself, and so he thought she was dead because he saw her
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
head.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, well, she weirdly destroyed herself, so now I can't do it on her.
Right.
No.
That
was another like bait and switch of showing somebody can die real quick was Scarboy. There's a lot of Scarboys.
There are a lot of Scarboys, that's true.
But he's getting attacked by her, and then his mentor shows up and is like, oh, I got this, and has his devil behind him, which is always an entrance of a new badass character. And then within the chapter, both of them are just beheaded. Like, she kills both of them. So that's another, like, oh, I expected to see a little bit of this fight, and it showed it wasn't a fight at all. Like, they just died instantly.
Yeah. She also, I think, made it really clear that she did have, like, legitimately the only thing that she wanted was to get Denji. Because, like, all of these, like, devils and people are standing in her way, right? And that one chick was just like, I'll quit, just let me live, I don't want to do this anymore. And she was like, okay, fine, and just left. Like,
yeah,
okay, if you're not going to stand in my way, I've got more important shit to do than kill you, so bye.
Yes.
Little things like that solidified things about both of those characters, right? Like, that lady just keeps sticking around. Like, why are you still here?
What did you guys think of her dying at the very end of the reading? Like, Makima coming in and just, like, wrecking her.
Yeah, did she die for realsies?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought so.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you guys expect her to die, or did you think, oh, we'll get to see her again in the future?
No, for sure I expected her to die because he's like, oh, I'm going to wait for you in that shop. So I'm like, all right, for sure, she's just not going to show up. But why isn't she going to show up? Probably is that she's going to die.
Yeah, almost pulled a butt.
What?
No, I almost rotten bacon butt, and I stopped myself.
Did you read past this?
No. I almost spoiled a different series. No. I almost spoiled a different series.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Moeka left in chat. She said that she overslept. So go and send her some love. She was obviously tired, and we love her.
Oh.
She said that Sharknado Bro is cool, and that she too loves Denji.
Great.
So,
yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody else we need to touch on. Otherwise, we can do art.
Yeah, let's do
art.
Yeah,
let's do that. So, I really like the art for this manga. It's rough, but in a way that really matches the tone of the story. So, like, especially like when the mangaka takes a page or 2 pages, like to present a scene, I think those parts look really cool, and I think the mangaka is capable of like some pretty intense, or using his style of art to convey some pretty intense storytelling. Mm-hmm. I love, like I mentioned earlier, I like all of the designs for the devils, and the body horror. Normally, I'm not really fazed by it, but it can be genuinely unnerving at times. So, yeah, I really like the art for this manga.
I like it too. Yeah, it's creepy when it needs to be creepy, it's messy when it needs to be messy. I think it works really great for something like this. Yeah, you can always tell like which character is which. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. There's some of the people that work at the department where I'm like, who is that again?
Yeah, I'm like, are you?
I'm convinced that's why some of them have scars. But overall, yeah, like the paneling and the movement and stuff for how like messy the art can be, it's very easy to follow. So
yeah, I agree. I love the art. It fits the series so well. And like sometimes depending on the story, the art can really affect what's going on. And I think that if this art was any different, if it was like, I don't know, flaggy, it would just be like, oh, this doesn't work whatsoever. So it really lends itself to the atmosphere of the entire series. And like you guys said, when it's messy, it's meant to be, and when it's nice and crisp, it's meant to be. And the way that they tell the story through the paneling is also very, very effective. Like I was saying, the scene where Genji finds out that Bomb Girl is a devil was just incredibly well done. And there was a few different scenes where something like that happened. So I really, really love the art. The monster designs, like I said earlier, insane, really creative, some just genuinely creepy and good.
yeah.
And yeah. So that's what I agree about the art. I think it's great. Great. Any other thoughts?
I don't think so.
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
All right, let's do final thoughts and ratings.
I can go first.
Yeah, do it.
Okay, so this manga is really dumb fun, and I can appreciate that. You know, you
Yeah.
don't always need a overly complex story or characters with like super nuanced motivations. Sometimes you need a break from that, and that's kind of what Chainsaw Man is. It's just, at least for now, at this point in the story, it's about a dumb guy that wants to touch a boob on a girl he likes. He wants to eat food, and you know sometimes he has to kill devils, and that's okay. I enjoy the art, and I really like how over the top the action sequences are. And yeah, like everything just kind of works for this manga. And like, you know, when I first heard about Chainsaw Man, there was this like, oh, that looks so fucking stupid because, you know, he has chainsaws for arms and a chainsaw on his head. Like, it looks dumb, but its dumbness is its charm. So I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Like, this section of reading, maybe an 8.5 out of 10. And we'll see where it goes from here. Unlike a lot of manga, normally, like, when we read something from MangaPod, I just kind of, like, set it down until the next time we schedule it. This one, I kind of want to keep reading. So this is going to be, like, my go-to. I need to laugh at something stupid, so I'm going to read a couple chapters of this.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to give it an 8 as well. And I would totally agree that, like, last time that we read this, I don't know that I had as much of a pull to keep reading as I do this time. Again, I thought this batch of reading was better than the last batch of reading. Yeah, I don't know. It really is just like, it's just a weird, fun, and yet horrifying manga. Like the humor in it is sometimes dark and sometimes really silly. But there are some really interesting things happening story-wise with it as well. It's so fast. It's like a very fast-paced manga. It's really easy to read. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. And as much as like when I first started reading Chainsaw Man, I was like, I don't know if this is really going to be my thing. This section I think sold me on it. So
Yeah, I was gonna do an 8 too. Um, like I was saying earlier, the first batch didn't really hold me, but then this one I read it so quick. I was very invested. I loved the art and I loved what was going on with the characters, especially Denji. I'm very invested in him now. And I really hope that we continue to explore like the devils themselves and the kind of personalities they have. And I think we're leaning towards that for sure. Yeah, the art was great. It was just a very, very solid batch of reading that I didn't expect to feel so engaged by. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Moeka gave it a 7 out of 10. So that was her rating.
Sick.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything else we'd like to touch on?
I don't think
Cool.
so.
I think I'm good.
That wraps up our discussion for Chainsaw Man. We hope that you guys enjoyed it. If that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and read it. And then you can also tweet at us about your feelings as well. So, Twitter is MangaPod. At MangaPod. I am going to read the description for the manga that we are reading next week, and everybody in chat gets to guess what it is. Okay. On a fateful summer night in 2006, Blank and his younger Blank witness what they believe to be a blank flying towards the moon. This impressive and unusual phenomenon leads both vowing to become Blank, with Blank aiming for the moon and Blank convinced that the eldest Blank has to be step ahead for Blank.
People are getting it though.
Yes. They
Yes,
did it.
it's Space Brothers, yes.
Space Brothers.
Despite all the blanks.
That's really impressive. People got it so quick.
I know.
Yeah.
We are going to read Space Brothers chapters 39 through 78, volumes 5 through 8. It has been a very long while.
A really long time.
Since we read it. How did people get that? I don't know, but I'm very impressed. So yeah, that is what we are going to be checking out next week.
It's been 4 years.
Has it really been 4 years?
4 years since we read Space Brothers. It's time. It was so good.
Time to come back.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're hopping back to it. Cool. Let's go around and shout out our stuff super fast. If you guys would like more MangaPod, we have a website, mangapod.card.co, 2 R's in there. You can find on there links to all of our social media and our YouTube and Spotify and iTunes and stuff. And if you want to go check out there, we've been uploading our episodes there, which is really fun and exciting. Personal stuff, I'm Erin at Happily Erin. My YouTube channel, you guys can find previous manga pods as well as a bunch of old anime reviews and stuff, but I haven't been updating that very often because I've been working on a book, which is being sent off for formatting and coming out very soon. So I'm very excited about that. That's been very fun and very long coming, and I'm so doped about it. But otherwise, if you want to find me otherwhere, I am on Instagram and Twitter. So come and chat with me.
Yeah. I'm Dodger. You can find me at Dex Bonus on pretty much everything. I stream almost every day. I do this as well as a couple of like D&D shows, and I chat and play games and do all that fun stuff. So if you'd like to come and hang out, that would be amazing.
My name's Lou, and you can find me on Twitter at LouTalksAnime. Today, I'm going to plug for you guys to all just go on Google and type the name of your city and then write mutual aid. times are tough for everyone right now, and if you have the ability to help out the people in your local community, I highly suggest that you take that step. It can be really rewarding, and also it'll help you build up a network of people in case you need help one day. So, highly recommend it.
Awesome. And leading off that, vote.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, go make sure that you vote.
Vote, please. Please, 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 please.
If you're in a country where it's voting time.
Please. Please, please, please. Shouting out our missing member this week, Mega Moika. She is a VTuber. She does some streaming, and you can also go and check her out on Twitter, which is Mega Moika. Her website has basically all of the information for her. She's wonderful and lovely, and send her some big ol' hugs. I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much for coming and joining us this week. We really appreciate having you and our company and all sorts of fun things like that. Once again, next week we are going to be talking Space Brothers chapters 39 through 78 and volumes 5 through 8.
Yay!
Oh, thank you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.